Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming series. My name is Bahamut. We are going to be here with our first of two best of three series. We've got Division A coming at you right now, and then Division B West will be up at 7:30 PST. Right now, we're going to be seeing the members of Minions Miners versus the members of Goodbye Forever. Do I have that right? Yes, I know that I almost said Who Knows Gaming, which not even close. But either way, thanks for coming by. Hemibo, O'Day, how you doing? Thanks for coming by, friends. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Got to creep on you a little bit today. I meant to resub after you finished your raid, and then I fell asleep on your stream, so soon, whenever you end up streaming next. But either way, we have ETC Joanna being banned out here. Excuse me, ETC Joanna being banned out thus far on Volskaya Foundry, and if you're wondering how we got here, I got you covered on that information right there. The home team this evening is going to be Minion Miners. Against my better judgment, I suggested they switch their coin flip, and they lost. Coin flip was won by the members of Goodbye Forever. Sky Temple and Battlefield of Eternity were banned out by them as they opted for first pick priority in game number 1. Raxus Holdout and Towers of Doom were banned out by the members of Minion Miners, and that means that they are choosing to take us to Volskaya Foundry for our game at number 1. We get back into our draft here, and we'll go ahead and take a peek at what we have for the ban here. Actually, I thought we were going to see more bans already coming through, but it's going to be a Falstad ban that will be starting that out on the opposing side for the members of Goodbye Forever. Minion Miners still have one extra ban as well before we get into our actual pick phase here. And looking at the draft, we could be seeing something like an Ana ban. Ariel's actually had a big waves as well. We could be seeing a ban under her. Looks like it's going to be the Garrosh. They don't want to deal with his zone control, his point control, as well as just his team fight that he really brings to the table in some of those kind of, not even really dive compositions, but the ones where you can just kind of walk up and just start just pushing face. And it seems like the members of Goodbye Forever do not want to deal with that. Oh my god, what's up, Ta? How you doing?
There is always hope.
Squiddle Guy, I think I said Goodbye Forever Go. And June the Will, how you doing? Thanks for coming by. Move. Thank you for that. And Jude, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that, my friend. Bandit, come here, bud. You want to get you've already got a treat this early into the stream. Yeah, I know. Your casting and your analysis has been so perfect that you get a treat. Good boy. Yes. Thank you so much, Move, for the beta treat. I really appreciate that. But we have our draft unfolding now, and we do have an Ariel being picked up on the right-hand side for Goodbye Forever, as I talked about. She's insanely impactful, so they're probably going to want to go into something like a dive composition. I would think something like a Diablo or a Greymane. That way they can get into this backline. Also, Greymane, in my opinion, here would be really, really strong into the Deathwing. Curse Bullet is 40% of the current health pool, so if Deathwing has full in health, you're chunking him down to 60%, which is a lot. I mean, baseline, he's around 4k, and there's the Greymane, but they're actually going to go into Sonya, so they're going to grab their solo lane. But I like the Sylvanas Deathwing on the opposing side. This Deathwing is a little early, in my opinion, because you can have things like Greymane being picked up. Leoric is something that might be an option as well. Seems like they're not going to be going into that. Obviously, Sonya's going to be probably filling that role of the off lane, which Leoric often does. They could maybe go into a Leoric later, but I personally doubt it. On the ban-wise, though, it's probably just main tanks they don't want to deal with. I'm trying to skim through my mind. Are we serious with this? Actually, they could have go for it. They could 100% go for that. That's the thing, too. Good to see you again. Thanks for casting. My pleasure. Thanks for coming by. Thank you for the follow as well. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. Zool, how you doing, bud? Thanks for coming by as well. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend, and I hope you're all ready for some wonderful matches. Tonight we have 2 best of 3s. Tomorrow we have 3 best of 3s. Unsure about Wednesday at this point, and then Thursday we will have 2 best of 3s, but we'll have a break in between because we have a bark box for Bandit on Thursday. So if you are itching to see him get one of those, that'll be on Thursday. Probably after, I think we start stream at 5 PST that day, and then we have a game at 5, and I think we have a game at 7. So I'm thinking in that break we might be, because usually games don't go 2 hours. Best of 3s typically end around an hour, hour and a half. But either way, we actually have a Decker Kane Diablo with this Deathwing Sylvanas. Now, I didn't talk about the Sylvanas here whatsoever because her push power is insanely impactful on a map like this. And you also want to consider the fact that she does have Mercenary Queen at level 4. Allowing her to empower the turrets. Now, something that was noted as well, we do have a couple other bans that were added in, and I just wanted to double check on those really quickly. Deathwing cannot use Bellowing Roar while in the air, so let me just make sure that the teams know this. Okay, so I'm just gonna post a bunch of these because I just want them to make sure that they know so we don't get any sort of these remakes or anything like that. Okay, because there's a bunch of stuff they added in, and I just want to make sure that these teams, we don't have to do a remake or they don't get a forfeit, so I'm just posting all the stuff that's in there that's currently I have over here. But we'll see what happens anyways. So Mal'Ganis and Mephisto will be rounding out the draft on the right-hand side. I like the Mephisto for the aggression. Mal'Ganis works well with the Gray Man as well, and the Sonya. But they themselves are going to go into a Tychus for some shred here. It's a little surprising, I'm not going to lie. I wasn't expecting the Tychus, but I guess into the Sonya and Mal'Ganis, it does make sense. You are going to be able to get that extra damage in. You did need some way to find extra damage, and I don't think a Hanzo would have really paired into this well. So actually, you know what? The Tychus, I'm rolling with it. Holy crap, Legacy! Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Holy crap, thank you so much, dude. Wipeout, Balfrag, Jew, Black Death, and Blue Goose. Enjoy your Asmapog, your Baja Rages, your Finger Guns, and your little Gilded Beard and Chap. Holy crap, thank you so much, Legacy. Happy New Year, hope 2020 gets you the partnership you deserve. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Seriously, I appreciate that. Wait, Cho'Gall would have been OP. I know, right? Like, I was like, oh god, no. And I was like, wait, no, that Cho'Gall could have actually worked out pretty well for them. And that was a pretty heads-up ban coming out from Minion Miners. But seriously, Legacy, thank you so much for the gifted subs. I really, really appreciate that, my friend. Everyone enjoy your gifted subs, and well, let's go ahead and get on into game number 1. We'll just do this really quickly so the Blue Goose can pop up on stream too. There we go. All right, we got to swap over. Alrighty, on the left-hand side, we got the members of Minion Miners. New Flash going to be on the Deckard Cain. Marshall going to be on the Diablo. Sir Mac of Cheese is going to be on the Sylvanas. Eardock, I think it is going to be on the Tychus, and Deathwing will be played by Bruther. Probably brother. On the right-hand side, we got the members of Goodbye Forever. We're going to be having Mustache Mill on the Mephisto. Newbie is going to be on the Sonya. Thundercats will be on the Ariel. We have Flava Flav on the Mal'Ganis, and Non-Champion on that Greymane. I believe... I don't know. There's mounts that are banned. They were added in today. We'll look at it afterwards. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Either way, let's go ahead and get into our draft, because this is, or not even our draft, our game right now, as we do have our mid lane engagement already popping off a little bit. No one really going to be going down. Deathwing will be rotating into the bottom lane, so it looks like that will be the Bruiser versus Sonya. And while they do clear the wave pretty effectively, they do stand still quite a long time. I was actually playing quite a bit of Deathwing over the weekend, just trying to figure him out a little bit further and just kind of get an idea and get my head around how his kit works and what I would think is probably maybe the optimal kit to be building. So I was doing all that, and I was just like, the one thing that I was finding is just like trying to get those last hits, or you know, that last little bit of ability damage, or any sort of kind of finalized damage. That's not something you can really bank on too much with Deathwing. He obviously can find those kills if you can anticipate your enemy and maybe find. I typically was in the World Breaker form for the majority of the time that I played Deathwing, and it's the stomp that has the stun on it, which I don't know the name off the top of my head. That one, if you can time that out, can really be a game changer. But as I said, everything has a wind up for Deathwing, and that's the hardest part about them. I was also the entire time trying to figure out, like, can I see based on the model type itself if they're in World Breaker or Destroyer form? And honest to God, there's no way for the model to really show outside of what their abilities are. So that jump that they had right there, that little leap, that's probably in the Destroyer form, because that's the kind of leap thing that you get from there. And you also get that kind of AoE wave clear with your W, I believe. It's when you get that big wing flap. So, me personally, I enjoy the World Breaker 4 more. I don't know why it feels more, well, World Breaker-ish. Whereas Destroyer, I guess I do see a lot of people on streams like brawling out with it, and that's maybe the more optimal way to do things. Either way, this is going to be a couple members getting locked down by Deckard Cain in this top lane. Sir Mac of Cheese is going to be rotating up, trying to throw a little extra damage out with the Unfurling Shadows. Did go into that at level 1. Excuse me, she's using her Shadow Dagger, but she's trying to stack up that Unfurling Shadows at level 1. That is going to be 0.5%, so if you're ever wondering what the total current, or what the current amount is, it's going to be half of that, rounding down, I believe. Actually, no, it's 0.5, so there you go. You have 15, so it's going to be 17.5. Caster math kicking in very early this evening, but thank you all for hanging out, and we are going to be going ahead and getting on into Control Point A in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the vision for our red team, just get an idea of how they're going to be setting up for this, because they kind of have a little bit of an advantage while the enemy team is going to be rotating back towards mid for this. You can already see Sonya's here. We have a couple members grabbing that camp, but they're already going to be in position to rotate and jump in with the friendly team. So just kind of playing around their vision just so we can also see how these teams kind of see the game and what decisions they're deciding to make during this time. Man, it's hard to lurk when you get gifted a sub. Thank you very much, Legacy. You're Enjoy your lurk, Black Death. Jazzy, how you doing, friend? Thanks for coming by. Thank you, everyone. Good to see you all. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you're enjoying AGDQ if you are. If not, you should check out AGDQ. It's really cool. If you're not a speedrun fan, then thanks for coming by either way. But 7 talent tiers up in favor. Hold on, is my UI backwards? Does everyone else see this? I have 7 on the right side, but 7 over here. Aliobs might be borked. What is going on? I'm not losing my mind right now, right? Either way, Mephisto will be going down right there. That's super weird. They just got 7. I don't know. I don't even know anymore. This is... Well, I have to look over his stream. Yeah, okay, so it is maybe a little broken. I might need to tweet at that man. Either way, we are going to be seeing this Sylvanas going down as well as the Deckard Cain. There was a Mephisto early killed in this engagement. Non-champion able to get that Dark Flight right out of there. But now, we're going to go ahead and kind of reset. Actually, the talents are all sorts of backwards. The entire UI is backwards now that I'm looking at this. Why is the entire UI backwards? Why is Sylvanas and friends on the right-hand side, but they're on the left? All right, this is super confusing for me. Maybe if I rotate out, does it? Okay, all right. I don't know. That's definitely a new one for me. Holy crap. Anyways, we do have 8 talent tiers, or not talent tiers, but level 8 up roughly for both sides. So we'll go ahead and cycle through some of the other numbers. We do have this Triglav Protector that did come through. Didn't look like it got as much value as you typically expect from a first Triglav Protector. Typically, it's going to be the front gate and mid, and then you're going to be seeing the front gate and top as well as the well up here. They do have 14 seconds left, but it's like 16%. They are playing to this top side, which is something that I do talk about often. If you are low, you can finalize that last little bit of damage because only one tower is going to be shooting you. Detainment Strike coming out from Ariel just to force back the Tychus from stepping up any further, but now Marshall's here. Nice Night Rush coming out from Flavor Flav. They also do have the Fell Claws to open up the distance or at least get further away. Brother's going to be dropping down from the sky for that Deathwing is going to be joining to the friendly team, but it looks like Sonya is going to be able to have free reign over bottom lane. Now this is going to be 10 talents here popping up for a right side team, but the talents will be over here on the, it's all backwards right now. I don't know why. I don't know why, Hemi. Like, this is the first time this has ever happened. Maybe I didn't notice it on Thursday night. I have to go back and watch my VOD on Thursday, but this is the first time I've ever seen this happen, where it's actually backwards UI. Maybe it's just this game. We'll see maybe in game number 2 what will happen. If not, we'll just deal with it through the night, and I'll make a lot of incorrect statements probably, but 10 talent tiers up on our right-hand side. Dark Conversion for the Mal'Ganis. Marshall going to get very low right now. This is going to be the Mephisto stepping up as well. Sylvanas will be going down as well as the Diablo. We do have Brother trying to get the Cataclysm through. They still get this camp as well as get the item right there. Tychus gonna be pushing out the top lane, but our Resurrect was picked up from Ariel. As noted, there is going to be Cursed Bullet from the Grey Wing, as Deathwing is going to be raining down this Skyfall. Now this Skyfall that I found that, like, I was enjoying this quite a bit. This the Heat Wave, was it? I think I was doing a lot of landing stuff. Like, I was trying to land on top of heroes to reduce their spell power, to reduce their damage, to reduce their healing, but I think those are at like 13, 16 area. But there is something that reduces, I think it reduces healing that they get when you land on top of them. I'm forgetting. I played just a bunch of AI games to do a bunch of the event stuff, and then I also was just trying to figure out Deathwing, because AI has no pressure, so I can sit there and like stand in lane and just read talents and then be like, all right, yeah, maybe I should help out. All right, Mustache Mill is going to be able to throw a little bit of damage. They are at 29 out of the 40 stacks on the Unyielding Power at level 1. Which means that they do at least have the damage increase, but the big thing is going to be the cooldown reduction that you get at 40, because I believe you go down to it's about 2 seconds, and then you also get cooldown reduction from hitting enemies with your other abilities. So you could basically, you could just machine gun these skull missiles out constantly. As this is Flava Flav taking a lot of damage. Great Tamer Strike once again coming out from the Ariel at 4 out of the 6 stacks. Sylvanas will be getting dove upon. That's going to be a great stay while and listen to slow things down a bit here as they're trying to get out of this. That will be the Greymane. Actually, I thought that was a great. This is going to be the Night Rush coming out from Mal'Ganis. Greymane now dives in. Non-champion trying to get a bit of a shred on Marshall. Not going to be able to find it. They also do get the dismount as well as kind of slow them down as they're trying to rotate out of lane. Looks like Sonya's doing double rotations against the Deathwing while the rest of the friendly team will be continuing to push this up. And they're going to do a great job of this. This is actually a really, really smart move. You're going to get periodic catapult pressure coming through the top lane during control point B, but that's going to be a great Cataclysm coming through from the Deathwing. Now look on the top screen, you do have Flava Flav up and back because of the Resurrect from Ariel. She does go down herself trying to save them, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get out of here. Dark Conversion is up and available, but that is going to be a 10-second cooldown, meaning they're not able to get that off in time. So you are going to be seeing these glows on map, but right now this will be control point B in favor for Deathwing and friends, as they will potentially get the second Triglav Protector of the game. Now death timers are not that long. We're looking at 10 to 16 seconds on these two heroes, but we should be able to get back up and see one, maybe even two more fights if they're able to fend them off here on the side of Minion Miners. But Goodbye Forever, strong at the start, but seemingly losing a little bit of momentum in this mid to late game. I guess mid game. We're not even in late game yet. My boys capitalizing on the 10 advantage. They seem to be, as that's going to be a stale one listen coming out, Diablo going down, Soulstones will be reset, Leap coming in from the Sonya because she knows how to take the right talents, and we have the Sylvanas going down right there. New Flash is going to be going down as well, and I was saying that they were losing momentum, and maybe they heard me because that is going to be them back in the driver's seat once again. They seemed like they were on the back foot for a couple seconds around that 13 talent tier area, but they found an opening and they took it, and that's going to be a really, really good advantage for them. Once again, the same thing is going to be available to Minion Miners as it was to Goodbye Forever. We should be seeing them able to respawn, grab a couple items, and get back and fight over this control point. During the time that they had two dead, that they got up to 78%, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see them doing the same thing in this top lane, already at 40-some% and rising just above 50. They don't have 16, so this is definitely the important. This is the very, very impactful and important moment where you want to be setting up to turn this over. And I'm just watching. I was looking at Deathwing to see if they could fly up because they were staying in bottom lane for quite some time, but this is Deckard Cain going up for the defense. Okay, no, Sir Mac and Cheese was up there as well. They're just, the icons were on top of each other. I was like, Deckard Cain, that's a very aggressive old man, as that will be overtime in favor for Goodbye Forever. Minion Miners going to be having their Deathwing with the Cataclysm coming through, and Newbie taking a lot of damage right there. Stay Well and Listen coming out as well. Diablo does have the Lightning Breath. Bit of an anti-synergy with that one, but they also did have the Fire Breath coming out from the Deathwing as well. This seems like it's just going to be a bit of a hold for now in favor. Oh, that's a great leap into the backline from Sonya, who's trying to spin to win. A lot of damage goes on a Newbie, and Sonya goes down. That should be Tychus going down as well. The revive is up and in favor for the members of Goodbye Forever. I keep forgetting about that. I was just like, man, that's going to be such a good one-to-one trade, and then they end up resurrecting Sonya, and she's back. Well, she's dead now. So she ends up going down twice. That's going to be a 2-for-2 thus far. Sylvanas gets picked off by the Greymane. New Flash is trying to get enough damage, and Deathwing is just not able to clean up quick enough. Deckard Cain goes down, and that is also going to be non-champion finding the damage they need onto a Deathwing. They're going to be getting picked off as well. 5-for-2, maybe 3, because they did have that resurrect once. That will be the members of Goodbye Forever picking up the second Triglav Protector of the game, and it will be their second one of the game as well. So far working out really, really well for them in this first game on Volskaya. This is going to be the map choice of Minion Miners as well. They opted for first pick priority in this game on the side of Goodbye Forever, as they had won the coin flip. So for anyone that came in late and was wondering, that's exactly where we sit. But this is game number 1 of our first best of 3 of the evening. We've got 2 best of 3s coming at you, as we have Triglav Protector moving in through mid lane. 16 talents here just around the corner for the members of Minion Miners, and Goodbye Forever is looking for a fort in mid. The rest of the team going to be joining on in here. Definitely using that Skyfall to get a little extra damage on this Triglav Protector. Going to be landing right on top of it, actually getting rid of the Triglav. That's going to be Curse Bullet in time. Leap into the backline from Sonya. We do have the not unending hatred. We have the Endurance of Hate, could not think of it, coming out from the Mal'Ganis, or the Mephisto locking down 1. Resurrection once again coming through for the Sonya. They're back as 5, as that was the Diablo that was picked off. No souls on them, so they're going to be down for the next 24 seconds. They have 71 souls currently in the bank, as this is them pushing up further in this mid lane on the side of Goodbye Forever. Seems like that's as much as they want to do. Maybe they're going to try and open up bottom lane a little bit further. Now, I didn't look at when the Triglav Protector went down, but we're probably looking somewhere around the 15 to 16 minute mark in the game when we should be seeing Control Point C open up. And in that time, this is going to be Goodbye Forever looking for their 20 talent here. They've actually got quite an advantage currently in this game as we can cycle through some of the other numbers once again. Now, for anyone that's wondering, just so you know, the numbers are backwards on our board. So our scoreboard at the bottom does not reflect properly what's on the names above. So you actually have blue is red, red is blue in the bottom. So I know it's a little confusing, and hopefully it will be fixed in the next game, but either way, you do still have the portraits next to them, so you can at least correlate it that way. Just if you're expecting it to be kind of like, you look down, it's the same teams on both sides. Aliobs is tricking you tonight. What's up, Road Tricks? What's up, Josh? How you doing, friends? Mega Muffin, how you doing? Knowledge, how you doing, friend? Bean, I see you that you redeemed that. We'll go ahead and get that done after this game. Thank you so much. I appreciate that treat for Bandit. 20 talent, yeah, they know that they have to make something happen here with 20 talent here right around the corner. Cataclysm coming through. It seems like they're going to be trying to focus Mal'Ganis, who does have the Fell Claws to potentially get themselves out of there. Seems like we also do have Lightning Breath coming out from the Diablo. This will be Mal'Ganis able to get away, and now Marshall and friends need to disengage as they realize they're not able to get a kill and they couldn't force something to happen. Brother takes so much damage right there. They were sitting somewhere in the 50% health pool. I wish I could click on Deathwing to see how quickly they're gaining health in the sky, but unfortunately I don't think I can. Well, I can now. Either way, this is going to be Newbie getting forced in the corner. Stay a while and listen, catching quite a few. Overpower from Diablo. That will be them going down, but Ariel's got to resurrect in the pocket. They themselves go down. This will be Sonya back up, and we'll see. Without an Ariel, can they survive through enough of this? This is so far 1-for-1 trade, Deathwing for Ariel. This is Flava Flav being targeted. They don't have the Dark Conversion for another 30-some seconds. Ooh, Mustache Mill, can you get out of there? Seems like Sonya's going to slow them down, or at least try to. Mephisto ends up getting picked off by the grenade from Tychus as they dash further forward, trying to get the burn onto Newbie. Overpower from Marshall. Looks like they're going to find themselves a Sonya kill, and this is exactly the fight the members of Minion Miners needed this late in the game. That closed that experience gap. Now, there is still a solid level lead, and they will have 20 talent here, but this means that they can easily rotate around the map. They can find that more experience for themselves, and potentially get a hold on this Control Point C. They will be forced off when the enemy team's up in about, I'd say 30 seconds roughly. They'll probably start piling up in this bottom lane, but until that Sonya's up and with them, I don't think we're going to be seeing much of a fight break out. Ariel could cheese it with Resurrect, actually. She's up right now. Wait for the... Yeah, you could just burn through it. Because there's about a 10-second difference. That'd be the same time like Mephisto's rotating in. Seems like they're going to save it for the fight, though. And actually, Greymane's the one who's first on this. I was expecting Minion Miners to take advantage of the fact that they can jump on this point, but I think they're trying to take advantage of the fact that they can roam around the map freely, get a bunch of items, and then look for their 20 talents here. So that makes a little bit more sense than just kind of rushing forward the control point. They know that they have a member advantage because Sonya just came back from death, so they can either play the super aggressive or they can wait, group up, and then take this as a 5v5. And the way that they're positioning doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. They're going to force off the Mal'Ganis. Diablo's going to use Hellgate, going to try and body block them over there. There's a Detainment Strike that pushed them away. Flava Flav taking a decent amount of damage. They do have the Dark Conversion. They could look for a target, and I think that's what you're seeing them cycle around, doing exactly that. There's the Dark Conversion. So Marshall needs to get healed back up, but there's a bunch of potions sitting around from Deckard Cain. So he's back to full health, but this is going to be the big fight taking place. That's going to be Leap with Crater coming in, Deathwing with the Cataclysm as well. Commandeer Odin's going to be out as well. Deckard Cain, the first one to go down. Tychus going to be picked off as well. We currently see Mephisto going down as well. On the left-hand side of our screen, we have that Sylvanas able to get right out of there. As Flava Flav was chasing them, Deathwing going to be going down right there. Marshall going to get picked off as well, and the Resurrect is through, and the speed on this in this area, the speed boost onto someone is just, it's comical. It's just insanely comical. I was not expecting the Crater from Sonya. Oh my god, Galaxy and Bean. Thank you so much for redeeming those. We care about the dog. We wouldn't give you treats. Yeah, exactly. Rooting for Goodbye Forever. Nice. And Sam, thank you for the biddy. Thank you. Sudokan, you're a great caster. Love being able to listen to you clear until it happens so quickly. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, friend. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for all the support, and I'm glad you're all here, and I'm glad you like what I do. But bottom lane keep is going to be going down. Triglav Protector is picked up. We do have everyone up in the next 15 seconds total. But this is a late game Triglav Protector. I mean, we're 17 minutes in. This thing is hitting for 348 in auto. Curse Bullet onto one. That's going to be the Durance of Hate out as well. Diablo going to be focused down first. This is only the Mephisto, not the Mephisto, only the Mal'Ganis in the Triglav Protector right now. New Flash is going to pop a Stay a While and Listen, but right behind them is going to be Sonya stabbing them with spears as they need to get back into the Hall of Storms. This currently is Deathwing and friends trying to get the enemy team whittled down, but unfortunately they realize they have a Triglav Protector and they're going to go ahead and end the game. Game number 1 going over to the members of Goodbye Forever. GG. Well played. Always expect Crater from newbie. I'll be honest. Outside of the meme games that I've casted from the Ghillie Sharks, I would have never expected to ever professionally. I consider myself a professional. Professionally cast a Crater game. Still didn't have enough stacks in my opinion. 71 and 18 minutes into game isn't enough. What did she go at level 7? Did she go Fetid Touch? Not Fetid Touch. That's Stukov. Festering Wounds. She did. I think she got zoned. I think Sylvanas just got zoned by the Greymane constantly. Greymane made Sylvanas' life miserable because every single time you saw Sylvanas going down, it was Greymane just diving onto them. I mean, look, 13 kills from Greymane that game. 73,000 heroic damage. 77 from Deathwing. I mean, Deathwing did a lot of good stuff, and Sonya did a whole lot of experience for that friendly team. But the one thing that I did see consistently every single team fight was Greymane diving into Sylvanas, and I think that's what really, really made this team suffer, because Sylvanas was supposed to be a decent amount of their damage on top of the Tychus, and it could not happen. They could not get it to work because constantly Greymane was in the backline, or Greymane was almost having half the health of the Deathwing. Great plays coming out from both teams, but really, really good, I'd say, counterplay coming out from not Goodbye Forever. Yeah, Goodbye Forever. I knew I was going to screw up these team names tonight, and I don't know why. All right. Let's go ahead and we'll pull it back to Bandit and I. We'll get that treat thing going. I just gotta message one of the players and find out what they want to do for next map. And I'm just trying to remember the captain name off the top of my head. All right. All right, right side team score, boop. All right, 13-7 is hell of a KDA, right, Munkus? Bandit, you want some more treats? Twitch really loves you. You want some treats? Look at him. He's already just like, more? You want some treats? Come here, bud. He's like, I just got comfy. Oh, are you stuck? Oh, you're good. I didn't want you to freak out. Yosh, hi. Hi, baby. Can you high five? Good boy. This one's from Bean, and then I can't remember. Wait, you're not done yet, mister. You don't want another one? We want you to eat. He usually eats like a little bit before the stream, but he's not the kind of dog who's just like, oh yeah, give me all the treats. Oh, he kind of is. If there was like another dog here and they were getting it, he'd just be like, whoa, I should be getting some too. You're a good boy. All right, so that's gonna be that. Let's go ahead and get it all set up. There we go. Galaxy Quest and Bean, thank you. Sorry about that, Galaxy. I looked over at chat and I was like, yeah, it'll still be there. You all right there, bud? You got sneezes? First pick's gonna go to them. Let's go ahead and get their team in here. Your doggo is sick. No, make them feel better. Do you give dogs chicken noodle soup? Because they should get some. Crib, thank you so much. Thank you, bud.
Subscribed.
Bahamu1LFG Bahamu108, you're amazing. Less than 3.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry, I started reading Twitch chat. Thank you so much, Crib. I appreciate that, bud. Thanks for being my jungler. That was a good games over the weekend. But yeah, we're gonna slowly get teams in here, and then we'll get going into game number 2 in just a second. Grandma's coming to town. Don't you want treats? My mom does not give him many treats. Mostly because I don't let her, because she would like, if I was just like, yeah, just give him like whenever you feel like it, he'd be so fat after she leaves. Cause like I have just these little ones for stream, but like whenever we go for a walk, he gets like a big peanut butter cookie, and he loves those. And so those ones are like special, but she wants to give him one like twice a day, and I'm like, you're ruining the importance of this though, because he gets so pumped about it that I can kind of like make it a thing for him. One of their guys is restarting their PC. Okay, it's whatever. He's been having breathing issues? No! I hope they get better, Monkus. Seriously. I hope your pupper gets better. I don't know what you'd give dogs. Is there like a little like cute like dog-sized inhaler you do it? It has me a little scared, to be honest. I don't blame you. I have those terrified thoughts constantly. I get it. Is there like a little dog asthma machine you can get him? You don't need to drag down the mood. You're not dragging down the mood. You're fine. You're absolutely fine. Probably heard something outside, or he's got to go get a drink after all those treats. That's all good. That's all good. That's all good. Alrighty. Well, while we're waiting for one player to restart their PC, we can go ahead and talk about a couple things that are happening on stream this week. So today, obviously, we have 2 best of 3s. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing 3 best of 3s. Yes, we have a long night of casting tomorrow night. We're going to be doing Division C, D, and I think C again. We've got a game at 5, 6:30, and 8 PST, if I'm not mistaken. So tomorrow's gonna be a long Sunday. It'll be a fun one, so I hope you all come by for some wonderful games. Wednesday, I don't have anything scheduled just yet. There are games to pick up, but I'm just unsure. After doing those 3 games, I'm not sure if I want to try and take a night off and just relax, or I might just do replay night. I'm not 100% sure what we're doing with Wednesday, but I think we're gonna do a stream regardless. I think we're just gonna do Monday through Thursday as the standard, and then Thursday we are going to be doing 5 o'clock. We will start stream. We're gonna be doing 1 best of 3, and then we have another one that happens at 7 o'clock. And during that small break, we're going to open up a Bark Box or Bandit, and I know you all are itching to see that one, so we'll do that one midway through stream. It's just not good. My buddy lost his Lumbeer Husky today due to surgery. No, Bean! No. No. Forever puppers. But I get it. No, I'm sorry. I hope everything gets better. All right, one team is ready. We'll ask if the other team is ready, and then we'll get going to game number 2. Can we start building a bandit bed fund? What do you mean bandit bed? He's got a little bed. He's got, so like you can see under his paw that gray, like that's actually a bed, and then I put one of his favorite blankets on top of it. So he's got extra comfort. I got him. I used to, if you go back into streams like ages ago, he used to have one of those circle beds where it has like a lip to it, and I just don't think he likes those, because he like after like 3 months he just like refused to sit in it, and I don't know why. Like it was just like one day he woke up and he was just like, this bed sucks. So I honestly I asked my neighbor, and he's like, I can't use it. My dog will just rip it up. So I just ended up throwing it to the curb, and I think one of my other neighbors took it too, because I just put it to the side, and I put free, no problems. Like no bugs or anything like that. They're not gonna get like their dog fleas. That's the word I'm thinking for. Thank you so much, X-Ray, for the resubscription. Thank you for the 5 months of Prime subscription support. Thank you, my friend. I'm just gonna give these teams a spooky worm so they know we're ready to go, and I'm just double checking really quickly. All right, let's get going here into game number 2. We are going to be finding ourselves on
Cursed Hollow.
Welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. My name is Bahamut. We are here on Cursed Hollow in game number 2 of our first best of 3 of the evening between the members of Minion Miners versus Goodbye forever. Now, the members of Minion Miners could be taking us to a game number 3. There is a possibility for it, but we'll see, because I will be honest, Goodbye Forever looks strong in game number 1, but at the same time, sometimes all you need is one game to figure out your opponent. Let's go ahead and actually find out how we got to Cursed Hollow, because I know you're all itching to find out exactly that information. The home team this evening will be Minion Miners losing the coin flip. They will be opting for first pick priority on the side of Goodbye Forever for game number 1. Sky Temple and Battlefield of Eternity were banned out by them. Braxis Holdout and Towers of Doom were banned out by the members of Minion Miners. Volskaya Foundry was the first map chosen by them. They lost that. They themselves on the side of Minion Miners opted for first pick priority in game number 2. So Goodbye Forever has chosen to take us to Cursed Hollow. We'll go ahead and get back into our draft and find out what we are going to be seeing here. Rip bed. Just overdo it. I got my dog a bed and she uses it. She just uses my actual bed. So I found that Bandit just likes the flat ones, like the flat rectangles. I could probably find one that's like super thick, but there's like I used to have like a memory foam one. Someone gave me an extra memory foam one and I was like, oh yeah, he'll like that. And he just like, he's too nervous for like the eggshell thingies. So I had to give it to a friend, and they like, when their giant German Shepherd goes to the office with them, it actually has a bed now, which is perfect. Anyways, Braxis was banned. I'm so surprised. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Siegeblade? How you doing, bud? Death to Braxis Forever. Seriously, there are so many teams that ban it out. Like, it's constantly banned out every single matchup. But either way, we are here on Cursed Hollow. ETC and Greymane will be banned out by the members of Minion Miners, respecting that Greymane from game number 1, but still not into that ETC. This is going to be a false dead ban, so we might be seeing that as a target ban onto someone on the side of Minion Miners. Ariel will actually be banned out by the members of Goodbye Forever, as they don't have first pick, so they're going to get rid of, yeah. And it makes sense, so we're going to be seeing a Joanna first pick up here. Now, Anna's still up and available. They could go into something with that. This is a really, really strong, I wouldn't say like mage forward, but definitely you're going to see a lot of team fights. And so something like a Li Ming nano boosted or a Jaina nano boosted is really, really impactful, especially with the amount of burst and poke that you can bring to the table. And on the same note is that things like Hanzo are a higher priority here, as well as like things like Stukov, as you can also zone away. So Ana could be the priority, Alexstrasza, we could be seeing Stukov. Anduin's another hero that does pop up once in a while, but yeah, no, Anduin's going to be there. It's going to follow up into the Dahaka really nicely. So you have the Tongue Drag into Chastise or vice versa, so that way you can just get that chain CC. They're going to need to deal with this quite a bit, so the Joanna's going to kind of disrupt that a little bit, but I think they need something a little bit more. I'm trying to think here. I actually really like the idea if they were to grab an early Li Ming, just to grab that, so that way they can also poke the Dahaka and maybe even use Wave of Force to force them further away, or even force the step up. This will be a Ragnaros, which it feels like a little early to me for the Ragnaros, but it's still going to give you some wave clear. I doubt we're seeing Sulfur Smash. There's going to be the Stukov, so Blessed Shield. I think this might be a Leoric that's going to be popping up for the members of Minion Miners. Goodbye Forever. Because the reason I'm thinking Leoric is maybe you get the Entomb for like the Blessed Shield Entomb, and then maybe you consider doing Sulfur Smash. No, I'm not even really for it that much, but you could do like Lava Wave Entomb. That's definitely a possibility. I've seen teams doing that. Deathwing round 2. It is up and available still, as the Lunara was banned out by the members of Goodbye Forever. I think they just don't think that Anduin's healing output would be enough for the damage over time from Lunara, which I don't think it will be. Like Anduin and Uther feel like heroes that do often struggle with the damage over time heroes like Lunara, like Gul'dan. So banning that out makes sense, but Garrosh will be another ban out, and that would have paired well with the Dahaka of the Warlord Challenge, just to lock someone down further. Dahaka on this map is going to be, it's kind of small to get much value. Wait, what? Monkus, what? We're on Cursed Hollow. This is one of the best Dahaka maps, in my opinion. There's tons of bushes, like tons of bushes for him to rotate through. It's quite a large map.
With every death comes honor. With honor,
Hanzo will be picked up with a Kael'thas as well. The Hanzo I actually really like for the poke. Kael'thas does have a lot of ability to spread chain bombs and stuff like that, but they're going to need a way to group up the enemy. Dahaka's Q sounds like it should replace with a what whistle? Oh. Cursed Hollow is small, man. Yeah. Monkus, it took me, I was just like, I thought this was Volskaya. We just played on Volskaya. Deathwing was picked up again, and there's going to be the Jaina for the poke from them. You know, they don't really have a ton to do with this Deathwing per se, and they have to go main tank here. I'm trying to think off the top of my head immediately, like, who's got, like, percentage-based damage as a main tank, and I don't know anyone, really. So it's going to be Diablo. Well, does this 20? Lord of Terror, doesn't that do percentage-based damage? I know it's way far up there, but... Give me Muradin on Goodbye Forevers. See, Kriv, I was thinking Muradin, but I don't know. I think maybe they wanted something to dive into the Dahaka. That kind of makes sense to me. I like a Muradin here a lot, but we're gonna be seeing a Diablo. I'm not opposed to it. They're really trying to make Deathwing work. I mean, I think he could. I definitely think Deathwing can work. It's just figuring him out, honest to God, and how he synergizes with teams. I'm still trying to figure out where he works best as well, because like there's a lot of situations where you're just like, oh yeah, like Deathwing would be great here. It's like, well, would he really be good, or is it's the same argument we always have. It's oh yeah, I would love an Azmodan here, but you know what? A Gul'dan or a Jaina or any other mage is probably a little bit more impactful in some of these situations. So it's some things like that you have to consider. But either way, let's go ahead and get into our game, because we are here on Cursed Hollow, game number 2. Members of Minion Miners trying to take us to game number 3. We've got a Marshal on Ragnaros. Eardock is going to be on the Joanna. We have New Flash on that Stukov. Sir Mac of Cheese on the Jaina. In the bottom lane, we have Brother on the Deathwing once again. In mid, trying to close it out in a 2-0 fashion. We have Goodbye Forever. Non-champion going to be on the Hanzo. Flava Flav on the Diablo. Newbie on that Dahaka. Mustache Mill on the Kael'thas, and Thundercat's going to be on the Anduin. This time, hey, all right, so it was literally last game bug. KTQ has percent damage. It does, okay. I don't, unless you can talent into that, is what you're saying.
Draws first blood.
Rowdy Loudwood, thank you so much for the resubscription, for the tier 1 resubscription. I will resend your alert when we get out of this game. Thank you for the support, my friend. I appreciate that. We do have Marshall pushing up top lane currently. This is going to be Dahaka going into Deathwing down here. And now Deathwing is not going to be able to be CC'd by Dahaka with the tongue drag or anything, so this will be an interesting matchup. I think they're literally just going to kind of do this. They're going to clear... Well, I would say that Deathwing probably will try and be a little aggressive into newbie right there. I'm just curious, health pool wise, 2,600, 3,100. So it's a sizable difference between the two, as we do have a bit of a brawl in this top lane between the Hanzo Anduin versus the Ragnaros Joanna, which seems like she's going to rotate into mid lane, making sure they're not missing out on any experience while the friendly members are grabbing this bruiser camp from mid lane. I actually kind of like this grab right here, because this allows them to have the bruiser camp jump into lane, and then they can also grab their siege giants. Now, this first curse isn't top, so they actually could have done this backwards. If they would have grabbed the siege camp first and then the bruiser camp would have come out during the actual phase. So, I said it backwards. This is a little early due to the fact that they're going to be able to clear it. It's not going to kind of threaten the wave, much like how you have these siege giants threatening bottom lane during the objective phase. And that's kind of what they're aiming for, and that's why I was saying, well, maybe do them backwards. Maybe do the siege giants and the bruisers. Either way, we're going to be currently having the members of our red team pushing this back, clearing this out. Hanzo and Ragnaros brawling out in top lane still. Just kind of take a peek at that as much as possible so you can get an idea of how this matchup's working out. Jumping over to bottom lane as well. Looks like Brother's doing a good job in a newbie, just trying to get into this siege giant wave and clear that out a little bit quicker, but doesn't want the Dahaka to be able to melt through them. Does actually have to pop the essence a little early in this lane. Typically you see a lot of Dahakas hold that for the first engagement around the objective, which now just got announced, and it will be popping up there. Both of these have an ability or a way to be able to jump up into that top area. You saw 4 seconds on the Deathwing timer, but that's due to the fact that they were either taking damage or dealing damage, and that's when it kind of resets. But it's on that 4-second cooldown constantly, as you can see right there. You're going to see it just reset the next time they do an auto. So One of those little things. I realize that I'm talking about all this, and there's like a giant NGS logo that blocks it right there. So hopefully it reads. Regardless, we have tribute spawning. We're gonna go ahead and see how they play this. As Deathwing actually saw disappeared off the map, meaning they are flying currently. They don't have level 7, so there's no ability for them to pick up Skyfall or anything like that to poke at this. Not for another half a level, and they're not going to be getting that through the top wave. Bruiser Camp through mid lane. This is what I was talking about. That late grab on the Bruiser Camp into mid lane really puts the pressure on the enemy side. This Dahaka now meandering their way up through mid. It doesn't look like they're going to be too worried about using the brush talk just yet. Mustache Mill is taking a lot of damage as the Leap of Faith is not going to be able to save them. First blood for the members of Minion Miners coming through, as that's a great fire breath coming out from the Deathwing right there. Like, that actually got way more value than I was expecting, but in a corridor-based map like this, much like how you have on Tomb of the Spider Queen or Infernal Shrines, we're going to be in a lot of these kind of tight corridor fights, or these hallway fights, if you will. This works out really well for Deathwing. You can kind of line them up and fish in a barrel, in a sense, really put out the damage, and also if Stukov's able to lock them down, because I do believe they are going to be able to lock them down. See, I'm not a Stukov man. I believe, maybe, no, I think, or maybe it's a 13-16 talent, where if you hit someone with your lurking arm and you have the weighted pustule thrown onto them, they actually get rooted. I think that's a 13 talent. I might be wrong. Either way, Ragnaros is still kind of working their way in top lane. This is going to be second objective on the bottom, or excuse me, top right of our map. Because it was in the top middle, top right, it's going to be in the bottom left for our third one. Ragnaros trying to make their way out. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be able to live, and that is going to be a staggered death right before an objective phase, and that's definitely what you don't want. 17 seconds on them and 10 seconds on the tribute. They could look to poke at this, but it seems like they're going to eat this one objective. Jaina rotates into bottom lane, and this will be Deathwing and Jaina pushing out the bottom wave as Joanna goes to clear out top. Bottlenecks, that's a good one, yeah. Tight corridors, bottlenecks, hallways. Bottlenecks is probably a little bit more professional sounding. It's indeed a 13. Thank you so much, Mega. When it comes to supports, I'm just like, yeah, let me talk about crap. It's just my least played role, so it's always just like, I always question myself. I'm like, I know the majority of these abilities and talents and where they are, but like, you get to a point where you're just like, oh, is it right there? 9.5 to 9, and in favor for the members of our red team. Ragnaros is going to grab this camp over here. As noted before, it's going to be in the bottom left portion of the map. These do cycle out in triples, or in, not in triples, but in 3 waves. It just kind of, it pops up in 3 different places, and then it resets, so you can kind of, the second and mostly the third, you can really predict as they go on throughout the game. And this is actually a strategy that you used to have to you'd actually used to sit there and be, because you never have these markers the way they are now. It would just pop up, like it'd be like 30 seconds, here it is. And so most of the time you'd have teams say like, all right, well, this person can, it's all, there's 6 quadrants, so you can kind of guess where it's going to be, and most of the time you would be right. For anyone that is wondering, one of those little facts, much like on Sky Temple, how you always know it's going to be top and mid, this map, it will always be in the center, either in the top or the bottom. So it's either going to be here, as we saw in the start, or it's going to be here at the start. So those are the 2 options, 2 places it will always start, and then it starts to randomize after that. And then it's full, and then once you get the 3 cycles, so this is currently the 3rd cycle, it will now re-randomize and go to a new location. That's when you have to start kind of guessing again where it's going to be. Lava Wave was picked up by the Ragnaros. We do have Bellowing Roar from the Deathwing as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Doesn't look like anything too out of the ordinary. Holy Word Salvation for the Anduin. They do have a couple ways to interrupt that. Deathwing going to be landing on quite a few members right there. That's going to be the Apocalypse from the Diablo. We have a Ring of Frost out from the Jaina. A huge arrow from the Hanzo as well. That's a great lurking arm from the Stukov as they find a kill onto Kael'thas. Great Leap of Faith coming out from Thundercat, saving Flava Flav. So it's going to be a 1 for none in favor for the members of Minion Miners. And this is going to be great as a tribute will be spawning. But we have 13 seconds on that Kael'thas, 24 seconds until the objective. So Kael'thas might be a touch late to this objective, but they can still deny the curse phase to the members of Minion Miners. But Minion Miners are on a bit of a roll right now. They need to keep this momentum up in their favor. They've got a slight experience advantage as well. It's 2-2 in kills. While we haven't looked at any of the other numbers yet, so let me go ahead and cycle through those right now. You can get an idea of what the talents look like a little bit later. And this time, for anyone that was maybe doing this last game, don't swap the sides because everyone is on the proper side. There was some weird UI bug that we just got to experience in the last game, so everything, you know, kind of is a 1-to-1 when you look up and down. But that was actually a great call to grab Boss, saying, you know what, we're not going to be able to rotate there in time. Let's eat this curse. We're going to put some counter pressure on top lane. That at least forces one out of this wave, and looks like it's going to be the Deathwing to deal with that. Jaina going to be in the bottom lane. I'm a little bit worried about right there, as that's a lot of damage onto Marshall. The healing is coming out from New Flash, but it's not enough, as Hanzo ripped an arrow just to make sure they got the kill. This is Deathwing still in top lane, pushing back against this, and this is going to be top lane, I wouldn't say mitigated, because they are still getting experience, but at least the push pressure is going to be mitigated quite extensively with that. Hanzo and friends considering to go into bottom lane, but they're going to find themselves a potential pick onto this Joanna, who I think just ripped the Blessed Shield. No, she still has it off cooldown. I thought I saw it come out, but I think that was just the Chastise kind of glow. It looked like the streak from the Blessed Shield. Jaina was considering to come up into mid, but I think she's just going to be back in this bottom lane, making sure they're continuing to soak up the experience, keeping that gap in their favor. It is a very small one when it comes to experience, but Jaina needs to be careful in this bottom lane. Oh, the gravity lapse doesn't connect right there, as Joanna sees this entire enemy team pop out of a bush. Lava wave through the bottom lane. Top lane, actually, if they would have actually thrown that in top lane, I wonder if they actually might have gotten the fort down there. Just because they had already a wave kind of stacked up. Regardless, Ragnaros will be able to grab the camp for the top lane. This is going to be Diablo poking out through mid. Still going to be 13s up on both sides, as Kael'thas, Anduin, and Hanzo will finish out the siege camp for the bottom lane. And I gotta say, for the game we've had so far, it's still very, very back and forth. I think we're going to be seeing some of these later game team fights somewhere in the 16 plus mark. That's, I think, really where we're going to see a team start to pull forward, and not only just because of the death timers, but I think that's where you're also going to be seeing more aggression coming out, and obviously the more kills means you can actually start to control the map a little bit further, because right now a lot of things have been answered. Unfortunately, not going to be this one, as they're going to go ahead and grab themselves a fort in bottom lane. That's a fort forfeited. Now, I don't know if they had vision on the enemy team, seeing them go into this. I think they saw a couple in mid lane. I wasn't paying close enough attention, but either way, not the quickest siege, but still, confirming a fort. They're going to be trying to do the same thing in top lane, as they have this Dahaka up here already. Deathwing did land, so I think that should be on cooldown for a little bit of time still. 14 more seconds on that one. But this will be top lane fort, traded for bottom lane fort. 1 for 1 in that, right? But we do have another objective popping up here in the top left of the map, and that's going to be probably... We're not too far off from that. I think we're like 15 seconds or so from the announcement. That's going to be a great dive onto Ragnaros. There's no way you're getting out of that one. Actually, they're trying their best, but unfortunately, no.
I grow tired of your petty squabbling.
Isn't Submerge at 20? Yes, Submerge is at 20.
My favor.
This is a good game. I agree. Sorry for anyone in chat that I might have been missing what you guys are saying. It's just a very good game, and the momentum's just rolling for both these teams. It's very entertaining. This is what I was talking about. Hold on. By hitting a hero, spell armor. That's what it was. This is what I was taking when I was playing earlier this weekend. And then I took this a couple times, but I don't feel like I got the value from it. Because I wasn't playing with like small amounts of plating, and that's why I tried this 1 or 2 games, but I just didn't feel like I was actually getting any value out of it, because I just had to play with such low plating. You can heal yourself back up, obviously. You don't get the plating back until you fly, but Wells and regeneration globes will heal Deathwing back up. So you're still, something like Brax's Holdout, where you have a ton of regeneration globe options and opportunities. That's a great place where you can maybe utilize this talent. But right here, I doubt it, just because you need that armor plating. You want to be able to keep as much of that as possible, and you're going to be constantly regaining that, in my opinion. Either way, this is going to be a Fire Breath coming out from Deathwing, going to be trying to zone back a couple enemy members. 16's up on both sides when it comes to talent tiers. Tribute will be spawning here in the top right of our map. There is a siege camp or bruiser camp pushing in through mid lane, and that has already crashed onto the fort. So this is getting quite a bit of value right there. Top lane fort taking a bit itself. That's going to be Dahaka with the brush stalk up there. They do deal with bottom lane, not losing too much, but right now, I gotta say, the members of Goodbye Forever are putting on a show to kind of bring us back here, if that makes any sense. Like, Minion Miner's doing great, but Goodbye Forever is like, we want to close this out in a 2-0, and I think their pacing, they definitely slowed down the entire pacing of the game with a lot of these moments like this, where it's like, well, are we going to fight this, or are we going to go around the objective? What are we going to be doing here? And splitting the team like this is insanely impactful, especially because of the fact that now any sort of position they had in any sort of advantage on the map is kind of mitigated, because they're all scrambling just to make sure that no one's going to be able to grab this objective. Definitely going to be getting another Fire Breath out right there. Kael'thas trying to throw a bit of damage out as well. Huge arrow from Hanzo. That's going to be the Cataclysm coming through. Apocalypse was used by the Diablo as well. Brother in the back lane, but they're so far away from the friendly team. Huge Ring of Frost. Lightwing, excuse me, the Anduin with the Holy Word Salvation. Thundercats is just not getting picked off whatsoever. Flailing Swipe comes through, but I think that actually just saved Thundercats as they end up losing the Ragnaros, but they end up getting the Dahaka kill, and then they lose their Deathwing right there, and that's going to be another curse point in favor for the members of our red team. Goodbye forever. Looking very, very comfortable as the game has progressed. Looked a little shaky in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, but that fight right there just solidified that they're still in it. They're not out whatsoever. I think they're just playing towards the later half of the game. One thing that I want to check on really quickly: Killfoss has 375 increased mana from the Mana Addict at level 1. Their current total is 1,035, and now that Arcane Barrier will be for 1,035 every single time. It's not like it's Curse Bullet where it's using a current percentage or anything like that. It is the total value that you have will be a shield, so you can mitigate 1,000 damage coming into you, which is huge for someone like a Killfoss. You can essentially make your health pool 4,000. In a sense, it's probably a little bit more detailed than that, but that's my quick caster math explanation. Interesting ISO. What's up, Lorelei? How you doing, friend? Whew. Well, Tribute is spawning. It's 18's up on both sides. Everyone's up and available. Dahaka is showing bottom. They have one interrupt through the Ragnaros, but this seems like the Ragnaros is taking quite a bit of damage. That will be Deathwing landing down onto... Oh, they're going to be focusing onto that Mustache Mill, who, as I said, just popped the Arcane Barrier and took almost no damage right there, as that will be the Holy Word Salvation out from Thundercats. Hanzo will be getting picked off, and this is going to be Deathwing with the Cataclysm coming through. We'll be connecting onto Thundercats. We are having two fights breaking out across our map, as this is going to be Dahaka dealing a decent amount of damage. This Joanna is trying to live through a lot of it. They need to just kind of regroup. It seems like they're managing to do exactly that. They got that kill onto the Hanzo, but now they're looking for a second, and it doesn't seem like it's happening. Huge pull onto New Flash right there. Ring of Frost coming out, connecting onto three members. Can they find the burst damage they need? Jaina dumps the snow. That's going to be one kill for them. The Killfoss is going to be out. Deathwing going to get a little bit of Fire Breath. Marshall does get the channel onto that objective, that it will be Flava Flav splitting from the team, and I think that's them taking kind of the death march and saying, you know what? I'll go down, I'll lose my souls, but hopefully Anduin can make it out alive. Unfortunately, Anduin was being chased by the Deathwing the whole time. Now, they're not going to chase it any further. They're going to go ahead and grab the camp, and now we have another objective popping up in this bottom portion of the map. Realistically, I would say grab your siege camp, and with two dead on the opposing side, get that boss for bottom lane. Because that should be, by the time they get boss and everything, that should be time for the objective to be up and available. So that way they have some extra push coming in during the actual objective phase itself. Dahaka going to make sure that top lane's going to get pushed back, but Ragnar's doing the exact same thing, and that's a lot of push power mitigated instantaneously. This actually will confirm 20 for them right here. Actually, they already got it before I even said it. So with 20 talents here and the cursed point up and available for both sides, this is a risky moment. They could go for boss, but I think this is way, way late if they even try to. Goodbye forever. Might be having to go to a game 3 here. I think this curse phase is the big deal. This is the big cheese. We have 20s up, so I'm gonna leave this up for a couple seconds, but we'll pull away the talents during the actual team fight phase. I just want you to see what everyone picks up before we actually pull that away. Joanna trying to zone. We have Killfoss throwing out a little bit of damage as well. Diablo Hellgates forward. That's going to be the initial target. Oh my god, the apocalypse afterwards. That will be Stukov going down. Ring of Frost connecting under one. Jaina's going to be going down. Ragnar's going to be picked off as well. That will be the Holy Word Salvation saving the Hanzo. And this is going to be Curse potentially in favor. Bellowing War going to be coming out from Brother, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get out alive. Deathwing is going to get picked off right there, and Curse will be coming out. Do they boss here, or do they just try and end? I know that they're just going to try and end. With 40 seconds on average and a Joanna up for the defense, you don't boss here. You try and end. Well, Joanna's trying her best. The Chorus is being besieged. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to defend this one too much here. They should have enough damage to end this. I don't think there should be an issue. It's gonna be, yeah, no, I was gonna say it's gonna be slow, but once they got that shielding down, it was absolutely fine. Joanna doing their best. Unfortunately, Stukov's the first one to be up, and even them, they're not gonna have too much with it, with just a flailing swipe, so that will be game number 2 going over to the members of Goodbye Forever. GG, well played. That's what you're talking about, no game 3? If they don't win, I'll eat my poop. I have seen... You would be surprised how many teams I've seen not end right there. Sorry, I'm responding to something about a video that I'm making. Just want to make sure I get that information out because they're talking to me now. you meant shoe. Okay, all right, better. Rowdy, thank you for the resub. I really appreciate it, friend. Thank you for supporting the stream. Glad you watched it again. Double check. Cool.
I will follow you to the end of the world. Subscribe.
Oh, cool. All right, let's see if one of these players want to do an interview really quickly. Okay, that's good news. Good news is always good. Jump in here, and I'll mute myself. All right, let's just stats once more, and then we'll bring it on back to us. All right. Cool, we got a player and everything. We just got to get him in here. Hello. And at this time, we'll be joined by Thundercats from Goodbye Forever. How you feeling after your 2-0 victory?
Fantastic. Top of the world. It wasn't casted, but we also were lucky enough to get a 2-0 victory last night. We're feeling really great right now. That's
some good momentum behind you. Do you know who was the matchup up against last night?
That was against Minion monsters, murky minions. I'm sorry, it's something I just always abbreviated it as MM.
You just played them.
Well, then I'm confusing my matchups. I'm sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. You start saying it, I was like, wait, did you play him twice? No, either way. No, it's good to ride that momentum from a win to a win. Did it feel like I'm gonna jump around here a little bit. Cursed Hollow. Of course. The beginning of that match kind of seemed like they had some good momentum and they had a couple good curse phases. They had a couple good fights. Did it feel like you had to play towards the later half of the game, or was it just kind of figuring out how you were going to play against this composition?
There was definitely an element of that, of waiting for our power spikes in the game, but we also knew that we didn't want to take them too late. We thought that, if we let them get to level 20, they might have the stronger composition. We knew that we wanted to hit a mid-game timing and just kill them.
And it seemed to work out really well for you. Was it just kind of that was the consensus, or was it like you were looking for a team fight to really kind of start that momentum in your favor?
I think that was the consensus. I mean, obviously, if you can, you want to get the momentum going in the game from the very beginning and keep just the foot on the neck the entire time. So we did have to adapt in that sense. But once we had our level 10 online, once we had the combo with the Dragon Arrow and the APOC, that's really where we thought our best chance was.
Oh, it worked out pretty well for you. I gotta say, that last engagement where Diablo had the Hellgate and then the Apocalypse, that was just chef kiss. Was like, what are comms like in a situation like that where it's the initiation goes and it works and it keeps working?
Comms are, I don't even know how to say it. I don't have the words for it. Utter chaos. A fustercluck, perhaps, would be a semi-appropriate way to say it.
Perfect.
Those are the sorts of things that you can't talk about ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can say looking, but when our tank sees an opportunity like that to kill their healer, he just has to go. He can't waste time talking. So usually incoherent noises is what we'll settle with.
That's always good. Now let's actually jump back to Volskaya. They picked up that Deathwing super early in the draft. Was your draft at that point like we counter the Deathwing, or was it just like we get Greymane, that's all we need? Because it seemed like that's all you need.
Is all that we think we need. You know, our philosophy is that we want one Deathwing counter. Maybe it's Greymane, maybe it's Tychus, maybe it's Malthael, but just one strong Deathwing counter is all that we need.
Now, I wanted to ask about this. Were you actually going to Cho'Gall in game 1? You're they banned it, and I was like, well, they could. Like, you had a composition already made for it.
We could have, and there were some memes in the comms about that. I don't think it was ever a serious plan, but down the line, who knows? Now,
just out of curiosity myself, were these memes before or after the ban? That's my big question.
Before the ban.
Okay, so it was considered actually. Okay.
Lightly, I don't want to say that we were too serious about it. It's not something that we've practiced very much in recent history, but with Ariel, it's always a threat.
Mm-hmm.
So there were definitely jokes flying, and it was a good ban on the part of our opponents.
I also got to say, I wasn't expecting a Crater game in game number 1, and I'll be honest, I was so happy that I actually got a Crater game. Like, I'm so glad that because like I even said it, like at one point I was like, see, Sonya took leap, she took the right talent, and then you guys got some kills, and then like there was the control point C, and I saw a Crater, and I was just like, excuse me, is this a standard?
First of all, you need to become better friends with our dear solo laner newbie there. You would love that guy. Crater is one of his favorite talents in the entire game, and we thought it would synergize really well with the comp that we had. You know, Ariel whip into the wall and focusing one target. It seemed like the move to go.
Now, with that, is there ever a possibility for a washing machine composition from you?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. I want to say yes. I desperately want to say yes, but the fact of the matter is, newbie plays both of those heroes. He can't play Chen and Sonya at the same time, so we would have to have somebody train up in order to do the washing machine.
Unless they play Sonya with their hands and Chen with their feet. It's always a possibility with that one. But
you know what? You're right.
No, the games are such a blast to cast. Thank you so much for the interview. Before you I let you run out of here, any shots that you'd like to give? The floor is all yours.
Thank you so much, Baha. First and foremost, thank you for casting us tonight. It's always a pleasure to have you. You're one of our favorite casters in the whole entire world. We always really look forward to that, and it's a treat. We appreciate what you do. Thank you to our opponents, both last night and tonight. I'm so sorry that I got your name wrong, Minion Miners. I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize about that, but it was a tense match. I think that it was much closer than the 2-0 score line might suggest. So thank you for that. We thought there were some great games. I've been instructed not to give away too much from my team, but I can quote from comms. There was some clenching going on during some of those team fights. Of course, shout out to my teammates and to our friends who were watching and supporting us. It's always a fun time playing NGS.
Well, thank you so much for the interview. Thank you so much for the games. I look forward to seeing you all further down in Season 8 of NGS, and have a wonderful night. Congratulations once again on your 2